So I'm just going to refresh some of my models. Lilly, the whole GLP wars, you know, is something a lot of people ask about. Novo versus Lilly. Obviously, Novo looks dead on arrival. Can they make a comeback? Lilly looks fantastic. Will that keep going? It's interesting. Pharma tends to be a victim of its own success because you get that one shot to make money and then your patent's gone. So like, let's say this is your pharma company's revenue, okay? You built up your little pharma company up to here, okay? And then you get some crazy hit. You get a step change in revenue. You get the, you know, Mounjaro or Ozempic, okay? And your revenue starts going up again. The problem is your patent cliff. So your patent cliff is going to come back down and remove all this revenue. So all you got is that area under the curve. Now the problem is this slope, this sort of best fit line, which is, you know, positive slope, is not guaranteed at all. In fact, this slope is fractal of what? It's a fractal of tons of little guys like this, right? So this is sort of like, well, here, and maybe the expiry is to that guy was here. And because you have lots of little drugs, maybe another one came out here, and its expiry happened here, and you just add all these up, and these monster drugs don't really help you unless you successfully reinvest what? Their profits, that integral, that AUC. You have to take this and reinvest it. You know what Pfizer did, right? They took this, which they got an extra big one from COVID, and they threw it in this thing. I don't know if you know this technical term. It's called basura. It's basura. There's a guy in here, I believe, called Oscar. He lives in the trash can. His arms come out of his head. Basura. And so you do have to reinvest this so that even though you have an expiry, and Keytruda has a big expiry coming up, you might even, you know, go down to here, but at least you have this positive slope line. And depending on how good of a pharma company you are, your slope can be anywhere from that to, you know, much lower. You can, you know, in fact, the drug industry itself doesn't really grow. So the only way you can do really well here is to have really good portfolio management. And that is something that's somewhat distributed evenly. You know, there's theory, one of the theories of mean reversion is that management skill is distributed somewhat randomly and that it will mean revert. So I tend to be a little cautious about like pharma companies being good long-term investments because they tend to be just completely management led. And obviously the Lilly management has done great, but to a certain extent, they sort of had this diabetes heritage that they'd sort of just continued to be in, and it sort of blew up into this big obesity thing. And yeah, if you look at some of the other parts of Lilly, they've done fine, but you know, I don't know. It's sort of been, you know, an amazing journey for them, but first really, really big drug company ever. You know, it was Johnson & Johnson forever, and Johnson & Johnson could not get out of their own way to get to this type of market cap, and finally Lilly's gotten there, so good for them. Short-term borrowings. Buybacks. other. Ooh. Okay. Cool. A lot of cool new stuff coming on Godel. If you haven't seen it, we have transcripts now. Take a look at that. I think you type tran and you end up, let me see here actually. This is kind of what it looks like. Just quickly get the transcript for these. This is an early product. There'll also be audio and other features. Download MP3. Maybe we'll have it sent to your email when you get it, when these come out. I don't know. We'll do a lot of cool stuff there. I really like sometimes getting emails or SMS even, notifications on some of my stocks. So we'll see how that goes. But Tran is the new thing. Oh, News has font size selector. Let me look at that. Where's my font size? Man, where is that? Said it has font size, but do I have to go here? Is it in here? Oh, maybe when you open. Here you go. When you open it. Oh, good. Because I've been having to zoom in a lot. So this is nice. So I can just read it. My old man font size. I like that. Excellent. Yeah, let's see. Okay, Bank of America says buy on the Orpho launch. So Orpho launching in Q2. Okay, so they're going to price Orpho is their pill, their GLP pill. So sometimes if I'm not up to speed on a stock, I'll read a sell side note. Old Shkreli would never admit that. New Shkreli will admit it. I can't admit the sell side is any good. I'm kidding. Okay, so let's see what B of A is saying here. So they're saying, I mean, take a look at this. The consensus estimates from Mounjaro have gone from, they were once 18 or 20 billion. Now they're 30 billion. Jesus. And the same thing for Zepbound. I mean, it's kind of incredible. And so price volume trade-off. I think this is definitely one of the bigger questions. Can they get, really low prices to get volume going? I would say no, but I think all the people who want Ozempic and Mounjaro are on it. But Orpho is different. Orpho is a pill. A little Orpho pill, lose 10, 20 pounds. They've capitalized. Oh, that's a good find. They capitalized 500 of inventory. So that means that's like 10 billion of revenue probably. Damn. They want to price it with injectables. Per Visible Alpha says Orpho sales in 2034 are 19 billion. 19 billion in 2034. What do we have? 7 billion. God damn. It's a little bigger. All right, when does the Orpho patent run out? We have to extend our model to 2040. Okay. Assume they get 13 years of Orpho. Everyone's going to be taking this. Orphoglipron coming to your medicine cabinet soon. You're on the Orpho? Oh, we're supposed to watch CES? Probably, right? Isn't that conference after CES what everyone wants to go to? You guys know what I'm talking about? Model says 985 for Lilly. All right, let's see here. Yeah, so the question is, eventually will some of these go generic? So I guess for Mounjaro, let's look at the molecule, because the molecule's pretty complicated, if I'm not mistaken. Or some other drug come out? I mean, retatrutide is what I have, but I still have net GLP dropping. So let's see. They'd have to manage through this, but tirzepatide. Try wiki for now. Okay. So this is GLP. I need the chemistry. Lipidated. So there's a fatty acid. Okay, so there's no the old version of this was Trulicity had an FC region, which kind of made it, I think, hard to copy. But this looks pretty easy. This looks pretty easy to make. And you have generic Ozempic. But I think the companies say like the manufacturing, like the amount of manufacturing capacity you need is enormous. And the generic companies don't love taking out massive manufacturing capacity. So let's maybe smooth out that landing for Mounjaro a little bit. That's pretty smooth. Let's see. Okay, and the same thing for Zepbound. And in that case, what do we get? $1,100 for Lilly. I don't know. It's hard to see too much upside here. But let's plug in the consensus for Orpho. You got to think that would 19 billion in Orpho would result in cannibalization of the other GLPs, right? $1,100 a share. If they make Orpho really cheap and it's just like GLP gateway drug that every single person in America takes, I don't know. Could be good. Yeah, people are making fake retatrutide. Hey, what's up, Luke? I don't know if myostatin will be huge or not. That's a tough one. Yeah, Abivax, Sarepta, still like them. Humira's, kind of an older now at this point autoimmune drug, depending on the disease. Like rheumatoid arthritis, it's still quite good. But psoriasis, there are better drugs, and Crohn's, there are better drugs. Sub-Q shot versus oral daily. I think if you're used to sub-Q, taking a sub-Q once a month or something is definitely better than oral daily. But it depends. You might, if you have other orals to take, you might not care. Yeah, no, normies don't love needles, so oral pill for Orpho could be good, and a cheaper price, I think. But what's up, Base Chica? Haven't talked to you in a long time. Yeah, I think the myostatin is tough. It's a drug. Now, part of this is Bayesian problem for me with priors. Myostatin's been around a long time, and a lot of pharma guys have gotten burned on it. It's not been a great space. So we just don't know exactly what's going to happen. Orpho sounds like Orco. It's Base Chica's old cat. I came home today. I was in San Francisco, where I'm going to live part of the year. And I just came back and saw my new cats. Orpho, Ocloglipron. Okay. Less weight loss than Zepbound. Very high dose gets you there. So this is one of the issues. So if you price 36 mgs, yeah, retatrutide's definitely not going to be for the faint of heart. So I don't see how that's going to replace everything. Mirage. So one problem with this thing is, let's say tirzepatide is, I don't know, let's see, this is $0 and this is $500 a month. And tirzepatide is here, so Mounjaro and Zepbound. Now the problem is, what dosing? So if you take retatrutide and it's like, okay, this is 5 milligrams, not retatrutide, of Orpho. So if they said 30 mgs gets you the weight loss of Mounjaro and Zepbound. So maybe this is a 3-axis weight loss here. And I don't know, this is 15, 25, and 35. So if you price 35 at $500, one of the things you can simply do, this is $500, and this is also 20 pounds weight loss, or no, 22 kilograms weight loss. That's 50 pounds. Jesus. Who needs to lose 50 pounds? I need to lose about 20. But I also need the muscle mass, to Luke's point. Anyway, so you can just take this guy for half the price, and that's, you know, call it $250 a month. And with insurance, maybe you're down to, you know, $50 a month or something. So, yeah, I've said my piece. I think SLS will fail. I can't believe it's run like this. Way to go, my friend Depthwish. Got a big W here. Please sell everything on SLS. Get the fuck out of it ASAP. This drug does not work. And they haven't reported the study in years. It's taken forever. No, retatrutide is just intense. That's funny, Paul. I don't think so, Austin. I do think they have to do more CMC, but I think that if they get the filing and the FDA says all done on clinical, which I think they will, CMC is easy eventually to get CMC done. CMC is sort of a piece of cake. It's the clinical trials that are hard, right? Yeah, I think Viking is kind of cooked, man. Fewer side effects? I'm not sure you got the right. Did you get the right molecule? Were you on the clinical trial? People, please stop taking drugs on your own at home, ordering them from random places. It's not a good idea, man. Wait for the FDA approval. Retatrutide, $6 billion in 2031 revenue. Okay, I'm a lot higher. Eloralintide. Eloralintide. Yeah, the remternetug is the new mAb for Alzheimer's. I'm not valuing anything there, but that's some upside potentially.